Remember, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On September 9th, 2024, officer was dispatched to a family disturbance call for service at 1531 Old Greens Road in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with the defendant, who was seen attempting to kick the door down at the residence. The defendant said, "Shoot me," to responding officers. In attempting to detain the defendant, he began to actively resist detention. Upon detaining the defendant stated he was kicked by the complaining witness, his sister, and they began to have a verbal altercation. The defendant advised that he was assaulted by his older brother. The defendant advised he was punched in the face and locked out of the residence. Contact was then made with the complaining witness, who advised upon arriving to the residence, she asked the defendant if he was going to pick up their little cousins from school. The complaining witness advised she was ignored by the defendant, and the complaining witness stated she pretended to kick the defendant to get his attention. The complaining witness stated she did not make any physical contact and was just trying to play with her brother. The complaining witness then asked the defendant again, which caused him to tell her to shut up, and proceeded to slap her left arm with an open palm. The complaining witness advised she went inside the residence and advised her mother, the witness, about the incident. The complaining witness stated this caused the defendant to get more upset and attempted to assault the witness. The complaining witness stated she got in between the other witness and the defendant began to punch her multiple times. The complaining witness advised in an attempt to defend herself, she began to hit the defendant back. The complaining witness advised their oldest sibling, the second witness, then attempted to push the defendant away from the complaining witness and the first witness. The complaining witness stated this caused the defendant and the second witness to begin fighting. The complaining witness stated they were able to push the defendant outside the house, and the complaining witness stated—
So he next started fighting with the other one?
With the other one, yes, Your
Go
Honor.
family brawl?
Yes, Your Honor. And the complaining witness stated she felt pain and discomfort.
Is there any kind of alcohol or dope that we should be aware about?
There's no allegations that Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. And does he have any criminal history?
No, Your Honor.
And as a juvenile?
I'll check, Your Honor.
Please. So I want you to understand that there's a protective order that has been issued in this case. Let's see if it for both.
No, sir, no juvenile.
I see that the protective order just is over one person. Should we do one on the second person as well? What say you?
At the moment, since the second person is a witness and not a complainant.
No, he started, but, well, in theory, not a complainant, but in theory, yes, a complainant, because they were fighting as well.
I think.
Do we know were there any kind of injuries on the second person as well? Mr. Martinez, at a minimum, on AM, a protective order has been issued. You need to understand that we take that extremely serious, and that if you violate this protective order, and it doesn't matter how you violate it, even if, you know, here, you're now prohibited from going within 200 feet of the address of where they live or where they work. Even if they call you, say, hey, come on over, let's talk about this, and you go over there, you're still in violation of this protective order. And if you violate this, they're going to file additional charges against you. And then it really just goes sideways really quick. So I'm ordering you now also, as a condition of your bond, no weapons and no contact with any of these people whatsoever.
Sure.
Do you understand? Where are you now going to live?
Right now, since I got out of the criminal justice center, I don't know how it's called. I've been staying at 1351 Greens Parkway, Houston, with my dad's niece.
Your dad's niece. Okay,
I haven't been there since my arrest.
good. You're not allowed to go back.
Yes, sir.
Understand that we take it seriously. You go back, I'm going to put you in jail. And if you don't have anyone to, you know, pay all that money to get you out, you're going to be stuck in there until this thing's over with.
Sean,
How old are you?
17.
You're 17. What do you do in life now?
I'm going to school. I'm trying to graduate. I'm doing good in school right now.
Are you in high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where do you go to high school?
Limits High School, all the United States.
If I drug test you now, what's going to show up?
Sir,
If I drug test you now, what's gonna show up? I'm sending you now for a drug test. If you're lying to me, it's not gonna go well. Are you sure? You know better than anything else. If I drug test you now, what's gonna show up?
that after.
We'll see. I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything's in your system. If you have anything in your system, it stops as of today. I'm going to drug test you like crazy. And if I find that you're smoking any weed, using anything that has THC in it, likewise, I'll put you in jail. I'll appoint you a lawyer today so that we can have someone advise you. But that's it. No weapons, no contact with these people until I know that they want to have contact with you. And then at that point, we'll go from there. So I'm going to send you for a drug test. You must come back. And then we'll have you speak to a lawyer. If you don't come back, I'll issue one.
When do we come back?
10, an hour. We'll send you now. Come back right after you're done. You'll be back in an hour.
Yes,
And then I'll have you speak to a lawyer. Okay? I'm going to have you go to Victoria. We'll have you sign a reset and then I'll have you meet with Rachel and then we'll see you here momentarily.
Your Honor, the OR doesn't mention anything about injuries for the witness. The only thing it says is that the witness told officers they engaged in mutual combat. That's the only thing.
What do you think? Just bond? Okay. Great. Is that her?
Yes.
Can you bring her up?
Ma'am, come on up.
Hi there. Thank you so much for coming. So tell me, you work with Aldine and you're here for this, for Mr. Martinez?
Yes, you would call me to get transportation here.
Great.
Also, his sister is a student of mine, and she asked about him daily and wants to see him. So please, why would she for me to let her know I can't see him. Other family that wants to know when can he come home. And it was a civil altercation.
Right.
They care a lot about him. They love him. Mom actually had a doctor's appointment this morning. So
So let's do this. I'm sending him for a drug test now. I want to know what everything's in his system. We'll have him come back. I'm going to appoint him a lawyer. In the interim, do you have a good phone number for the family so we can have them reach out to
I
see?
had it on hand.
Okay.
If I had my computer, I can look at it.
Yeah, take your time. There's no rush. We're going to be here for at least the next 2 to 3 hours.
Information for you, but I'll be able to know if he's on drugs as well. He is in a program at the school, which is GAP. It stands for Gaining Appropriate Performances. It helps him with memory management.
Good.
His coping skills, and Carlos and I have had a relationship. He's my ninth grade student, he's in the 11th grade. And sometimes when he get upset, he calls me, he explains details, but I.
Hey, I like that you call her. That's great. That really helps,
What I'm listening to today was him physically hitting his sister is new for me. I know, sisters and brothers, they argue a lot, but she actually cried yesterday in the cafeteria. She said, can you please call him for me because I want to talk to him.
Mr. Martinez, do you see this?
But,
Hold on. Do you see this? She's crying in the cafeteria for you.
yeah, she wants to talk to him. He said, I can't let her know. I don't want to get in trouble. I can't talk to her. And she stepped outside. She said, Ms. Matthews, let him know that I am okay. So that's a lot of love.
What you do now, Mr. Martinez, will impact you for the next 40 years of your life because everyone knows that you have this assault and it puts the entire world on notice that you have a triggered temper. So when you try to go get a job, when you try to go do anything in life, they're going to see this and they're going to go, well, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't give this guy a job. Maybe we shouldn't let this guy come to school here for college. Maybe we shouldn't give him this car because we know that he's liable to just go nuts. Look, it's not the end of the world. We all make mistakes. The idea is that if you make a mistake, you get up, you brush yourself off, and then you learn from it. That's why we have this. That's why we have jails, to get you to understand that there are some mistakes that you make that we won't tolerate. That's why we have jails. If a mistake is bad enough, that's where you go. This is one of those types of mistakes. But like I said, it's not the end of the world. The idea is that you get here, you learn from the mistake, and then you move on. So just roll with the punches. I'm really happy that you have maintained contact with Miss Matthews? That's great because it shows me that you care and that you want to better yourself. And that's what we want. That's what we want is only see you, achieve greatness. That's what we want. I can make it a condition of his bond that we do darn near anything. So if you think that, doing anger management on his own, we can make that a condition of his bond that he does that. The problem is that he's only 17, right? And everything in this life costs money. And
That's not what this referring to. We're not.
right, but that only covers so much. So let's do this. First things first, let's send it for a drug test, and then I'm gonna have to talk to a lawyer, and then we'll craft a plan as. It doesn't matter. I'm sending it for a drug test now. To me, what he tells me goes in this ear, goes in that ear. I don't care, right? But the test will tell me what it is. And then at that point, we will also set appropriate conditions. If he's got something more than marijuana, then we're going to take appropriate steps, right? But if it's just marijuana, then, so let's not put the cart ahead of the horse. For now, let's send it for a drug test. We'll have him come back and then we'll have a lawyer ready for it. If you can get that to them so that they can reach out to the family, because if I want to know if the family's okay having contact, then what we can do is we can perhaps modify the condition to have him limited contact. Okay? Yeah. So take your time. There's no rush.
I'll call the school and pull the sister. She's in class.
Well, I don't know if that's necessary. Do you have mom? Perhaps we can get mom's phone number from Mr. Martinez. We can reach out that way because I don't want to interrupt her school, Okay.
She's very concerned as well.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Everything will work out. Just be nice. It's not hard. And when you get upset, you have to find a different release. Go outside, go run, go punch a tree, find another release. But a person, that's not appropriate. All right? Okay, come on. That way we can be presumptively ready. Oh, great.
All right.
It's okay. No, we're happy that you're here. We will test at the next setting. And then we'll see how that goes. Coming up, Mr. Martinez. No. The state has reached out to your mom to see whether mom and siblings to see whether they want to have contact with you. You're welcome to come up too. Come on up, Ms. Matthews. First off, I want to say thank you so much for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure and we're happy to have you and thank you for everything that you do, really. And I hope that you really appreciate what she's doing because she's taking her time. Who the hell likes to come to downtown? No one likes to come to downtown. No one likes to come to court. You have to pay for parking, all because of you. So I want you to recognize this. You have a bunch of people here that are going to bat for you. There's absolutely no excuse. And I will not tolerate any misbehavior whatsoever. And I don't care for excuses. So your excuse, if you come up to me, because you either picked up a new case, you smoked anything, you hit someone, there's only one place that you're going to go. And that is into jail. And I will make your bond sufficiently high that you'll be stuck like Chuck until this case is over with. And that's it. Do you understand?
Sure.
I have places for people who don't like to comply. I don't want to do it, but if you force my hand, I'm not gonna shed a tear and I'm still gonna sleep at night. Do you understand?
Sure.
I will let you go back home. But I want you to understand that I'm ordering you not to have any threatening or harassing contact with everyone in the house. What is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what you think it is. It is how they perceive your conduct. So if you come up to them and you start going, let's get this ball up, is that threatening or harassing? It is. And it can land your ass in jail. Do you understand? If you get upset, if you get angry, if someone tries to push your buttons just for the sake of pushing your button, because that's what sisters and brothers do. They act like constant a-holes. And what you need to do is you need to be the stronger and better person. And when you see someone trying to act like that, walk away. I have a 13-year-old son, and I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I have a 9-year-old daughter. And if it's anything but every single day, they're constantly poking at each other, trying to make themselves angry constantly. And it's maddening. And if I wanted to, I could beat them into submission and say, and I could literally, if I wanted to, I could just beat the hell out of them every single time to make them stop. What does it accomplish? Right. What you do, and every time you beat them, all it does is it drives them further away. And at some point, you're going to create such an animosity that they're never going to want to be with you ever. I have family members like that now. They acted like such assholes to me when I was young. I have nothing that I want to do with them, and I will not talk to them. And they call me to this day, hey man, I need help. I need this. I need that. You know what I do then? I give them a big fat wet middle finger is what I do. That's life. And that's what happens when you constantly push people away. And if you don't recognize that, we're here to tell you that now, because I don't want you to push. You only have one family. You don't have anyone else in this life to help you out. Everyone wants to see you fail. Everyone, that's what everybody likes: death, destruction, and people to fall down the tubes. You have to be better than that. And it starts right here because it's your brother and your sisters, they're going to push your buttons. You have to expect it, because that's what they do. When you do that, go outside. Find something else to do. Because if I get wind that you do even one thing, I'm going to lock you up. Understand? You've dug in yourself into a hole, but it's not so deep that you can't get out of it, right? But when you get out, the idea is that you keep going up, not dig yourself out and then dig yourself into another hole. That's what we don't want. The protective order will remain in place. And this protective order says that you are not allowed to have any threatening or harassing contact with them. If you do, they can file an additional charge against you. And I'm going to tell you now, on violation of protective orders, I make the bonder out $15,000 to $20,000. So
I can go back to,
it's okay.
Go ahead.
I could go back to my house.
You can go back. But what I'm telling you is there's no threatening or harassing contact with anyone in the household. If you do, you will pick up a new charge. So if you, with your sister, if you are constantly butting heads with this person, it's probably best for you to just stay away for a while. And if you go home one day after school in 2 weeks and you see that she is in a bad mood, go the other way, because sisters always like to push buttons. Brothers always like to push buttons. You understand? You're not going to get another warning from me. Ms. Matthews, would you like to add anything?
No, Your Honor, I thank you for everything, and this is what he needs. And he knows he can call me 24 hours. If I have to come over and pick him up, I will. It's not a problem. I go. Great.
Mom was suggesting some kind of anger management classes, and I'm happy to do it, but I don't know what resources they have. I just, at this point of the game, I can't pay for anything, you know?
I'm trying to look for myself online classes too.
And I'm sure that they have, and I'm sure that there are free resources out there, and it would probably be a good idea. But
Like being outside, that's what helps me a lot.
What is it?
I like being outside, like doing the yard and stuff. That helps me a lot too.
Exercise, you know, when you, whatever you feel that,
I'm sick, so I haven't been doing that lately.
It's okay. I'll get with the school council. We'll come up with some resources, even if it has to be during school hours at school.
I don't,
So I can do that.
you have one job right now. You're the main job that you have in this life at this point is to graduate from high school and then try to further yourself. So not only do you want to, you don't want to just stop with high school, you want to keep your schooling. The more schooling you do in life, the better you are off in the future. The idea is that you work hard in life now so that when you reach 50 and 60, you don't have to work hard and you can just go on continual vacations forever. When you work hard now, it will pay off in the future. Don't screw off now to where you have to work like a dog when you're 60 and 70, where your back hurts, your leg hurts, you've got diabetes, high blood pressure, you can